So very good afternoon to all. Unit number 3 is voltage control device. So before going into unit number 3, we should know why we are moving towards voltage control device. See, invention was by step. So they started with diode. There you are able to control the flow of electron in one direction. Then that flow of electron, whenever your supply voltage crosses, see, you should understand, you say forward bias, reverse bias and all, but when this device, all this device is being brought to application where you have to say only source side, load side, like that you have to talk. You are not supposed to say anode, cathode, anode higher potential, cathode and all, you are not supposed to say. So in diode, what they observed is, when the source voltage is crossing more than 0.6, automatically the diode starts to conduct. So the control of the device is, you can control in one direction, it opposite direction. And the second one is, whenever supply is crossing 0.6, device come to on. But here you cannot have a control in onning the device. Once the supply voltage cross 0.6, then it will start. So they start thinking, why should we have some device where I should specify the turn on. So what they did is, they connected two diode structure back to back. They formed a transistor. So in that transistor there is a 3 layer and 2 junction. One junction automatically it will get forward bias because it is like a diode only. Okay, so 2 diodes, they are connected in back to back. So if one diode is forward bias, obviously other diode will be in reverse bias. So whatever may be the supply voltage, positive or negative, one diode will be in on and one diode will be off. So this off diode, when you try to bring it to on, then the device will get turned on. That is all about transistors. Okay, so among the 3 layers, a center layer we call it as a base. In this base, if you are able to pump the minority charge carriers, because that region alone is being forward reverse bias, so if it is reverse bias, that depletion layer will increase. To reduce the depletion layer, what you have to do, you have to just pump minority charge carrier, so that when you pump this minority charge carriers, automatically device turn on. In transistor you have 2 type, one we call it as NPN, NPN. So center is P type material. So what type of charge you have to pump is, you have to pump electron. Okay, and the next one is NPN. Next type is PNP. So in PNP, N is in the base, so you have to pump positive. So all this thing can be done by pumping electron. So when you pump electron, that is called current control device. I am not giving any voltage, I am not talking about with respect to any voltage. So here what happens is, once you turn on, your control gets loose. So at any instant I can turn on, but once I have turned on, then I don't have any control. Okay, so this is very helpful. All these components are very useful for a rectification process, that is from AC to DC, because from AC to DC, your supply voltage itself will get turned off for every 10 milliseconds. So automatically switch will turn off. When supply goes to 0, automatically device will go to 0, otherwise device will not go to 0 at all. So that is the problem with current control device. But now present state, we need all power semiconductor converters. So all converters are nothing but like a buck converter, boost converter. I think you might have studied a paper called analysis of power converters. So you have so many converters like buck converter, boost converter, then you have a Sepik converter, then some used to say as a Chook and some used to say Cuck converter, but actually speaking, it is invented by a person called Chook. So you have to tell it as Chook converter. So all these converters, your input is a DC source. Okay, either you step up or step down DC. So in this case, since the supply is DC, the current will not come to 0 at all. It is not alternating in fashion, it's direct fashion. So no current control device can be used, because in all current control device, you can only turn on, turn off only if supply voltage goes to 0, current will come to 0 and device will get turned off. So we were unable to use the transistor. Next to transistor was they connected two transistor back to back, and they called by the name called SCR. Then they moved to two SCR connected in anti-parallel, they call it as triac. Okay, so like this the invention was going on, and they have come to a conclusion that all these devices can be only turned on, and turn off is not at all possible. So what to do? So turn off can, since it is not, we are unable to do, we go for voltage control device. Voltage control device, so a small mistake on the heading, it is there in unit number 2, heading is there, but it is unit number 3, voltage control device. So in voltage control device, they invented a person called MOSFET. Then MOSFET slightly we have some issues, so we go for IGBT. This issues we say we compare. Okay, in some case MOSFET is more better useful, and in some case IGBTs are more useful. So we cannot ruled out that MOSFET is totally waste or IGBT is waste. So based upon the application we go for MOSFET or IGBT. So in this unit we are going to see about only 3 devices. So today let us discuss about MOSFET. Next class we will discuss about IGBT, and there is one more device called IGCT, integrated gate commutated thyristor. Okay, so these 3 devices are the major voltage control device. So let us start with MOSFET. The MOSFET stands for metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So you have a transistor inside, but this transistor is turned on by the effect of voltage. So that is why it is called voltage control device. So a MOSFET is not a new device. Okay, they take the transistor. Problem in the transistor is we are unable to turn off. So try to do some modification in the structure such that you turn on by a voltage control method of this transistor. Okay, now I think we all know that there are totally 4 subdivisions or 4 types in MOSFET. They call it as N channel, P channel, then your under N channel you have enhancement and depletion, under P channel again you have enhancement and depletion. So this diagram you try to see, one gate I have drawn, then there is a discontinuity in this line. So there is some discontinuity, so which is saying that when the device is normally off, or when you buy and bring a MOSFET in your hand, there is no connection between drain to source. So when you want to check from a shop, when you want to check, if you connect multimeter across, put it in a measuring resistance, and if you connect across DNS, resistance should not be 0. If it is 0, then the device is already failed, which means it has been short. So you can see here from drain to source there is a 2 cut. With this cut is indicating that when the device is normal condition, the device is off. So you are going to enhance and make this to come on. So this symbol is for enhancement type. Okay, so for depletion MOSFET, what will be there is already this line will be in connected. When you give gate, you will disconnect it. So in enhancement type MOSFET will be normally off. When you give gate pulse, it will get turned on. In depletion, normally MOSFET will be in on. When you give gate, it will become off. So that is difference between depletion and enhancement. From the word itself is very clear. Enhancement, I am enhancing the region and try to make it turn on. So that is why 2 cut is there here. Whereas in depletion, from the word depletion, already something is there, I am depleting. So there, when you give gate, this line will be a straight line in case of depletion type MOSFET. So when I try to give my gate, there will be this junction will break down and the device will go to off. Now in enhancement as well as in depletion, you have 2 type, which is called N type and P type. So N type is when the substrate is N, we call it as N. When the substrate is P, we call it as P type. When the arrow is pointing inwards, it is N. When the arrow is pointing out, it is P. Okay, only that is the difference. So now we are clear with what are the 4 types of MOSFET available. Okay, I repeat: enhancement type, depletion type. In enhancement you have N channel, P channel. In depletion you have N channel, P channel. In enhancement, normally device will be off, and when you give gate voltage, device will get turned on. In depletion, normally MOSFET will be in on. When you give gate, the depletion region will come down, and then device will go to off. So I think you all know we will use this MOSFET in all converters. Only criteria is drain should be at higher potential with respect to source. Don't even forget this anywhere. Whenever you do MATLAB simulation also, in any circuit, positive should be only connected to the drain and negative should be connected to the source from the supply side. I am talking only with respect to supply side. So okay, so that is what basic is. And then when you take the structure of MOSFET, this substrate, let us assume here you have N type, so this too will be P type material. So P type, N type, P type. So when holes has to cross this region, I have to induce holes here. So what is done in MOSFET is metal oxide. So oxide is this layer, which is nothing but an insulating material, and a metal is there. So metal, it is like a capacitance effect. So two plates separated by a dielectric. Now if in one plate I give one potential, then obviously the opposite polarity will be created here. So whenever I give positive potential here, a negative charge will be here. Whenever I give negative potential, a positive charge will develop here. So here the channel is being created by the polarity of the voltage. So that is why it is voltage control device. So if I remove this, automatically nothing will be there, so device will get turned off. So that is how turn off is able to be possible in case of MOSFET. So MOSFET is a unipolar device, whereas BJT is bipolar. Unipolar is charge devices get turned on with any one polarity alone. If two polarities, both holes and negatives are used, then we call it as bipolar. Yes, in a BJT, since the device is turned on by current, so I think you all know what is difference between a voltage and a current. So voltage is like storing a water in a dam, then current is like opening the dam. Okay, so when you go for high power devices, you require more current to turn on your BJT, whereas with respect to MOSFET, it is only potential, so there is no current flow and all. So to control your device, power required for your BJT is more, whereas power required for your MOSFET is less. Then it is voltage control, and this is a current control. So this is the difference between BJT and a MOSFET, both MOSFET as well as IGBT. Now let us come to here. So I have already told drain should be at higher potential with respect to source. So source, as you can see here, source I have connected to negative, and this I have connected to positive. And now this gate I am connecting to positive, and this side again I am connecting to negative. So if I connect to positive to the gate, obviously what I have told, this is metal oxide, this region is metal oxide I have told. So then this region is metal oxide. Obviously if I am giving positive here, then what charge will be induced here is negative charge. So if the negative charge is inducing, then this two region should be N type. So that is what is been real. See, you can N typed silica, this color. So this is N type, and this is also N type. This is P type, this region is P type. So if I am not giving any gate voltage, you can obviously you can see, if I am not giving any gate voltage, so no positive here, so no negative here, so this region will be entirely positive. This region and this region are negative. Here electrons are ready to flow here, and here also electron is ready to come out, but there is no path for this electron to flow. So now if I give positive here, automatically capacitance effect, what will happen if I give positive here, negative will be induced here, then this electron will try to flow and cross this junction, and the device get turned on. Now you have electron flow possible here, until otherwise I supply this voltage. When I cut this voltage, obviously no positive on gate, so no negative on this side, automatically device will go to off. So that is how we are able to turn off your MOSFET, whereas that is not possible in case of a transistor. So now let us see a cut section. So in this cut section you can see here, this is PNN. So it is an NPN transistor, but this NPN transistor, you have to induce negative here, whereas in transistor this is a base region. Somewhere from this I will try to pump electron, and this pumped electron will try to control this. But now you can see here, the pump is done by the potential applied across it. So whenever I apply potential, this negative will be created, and if I remove this negative will vanish. If this negative vanish, automatically device will be in off. So there is no flow between drain to source. Whenever there is flow from drain to source, you call the device is on. Whenever there is no flow from drain to source, the device is off. So see, you can see here the symbol current flow. So current here in this circuit I have drawn two MOSFET, so don't get confused, just put a line here. So from here if you put a line, and this is one MOSFET and this is another MOSFET, just we have shown that in power MOSFET what we will do is, inside a single IC itself we will try to develop 3 or 4 this for current sharing. So when in power devices you have to, current carrying will increase. So with the single device we will unable to carry more current, so we will try to manufacture 2-3 MOSFET structure inside a single IC itself. So you can see the drain current will go till instant and it will wait. When this current will be able to pass through is only if you apply this voltage. So only by applying this voltage, this flow of current is there. So how much voltage you apply, how much current flows, that we call it as transfer characteristics. Transferring from input side, what is transferred to output side, so that we call it as transfer characteristics. So now we will see what and all characteristics is there in MOSFET. So transfer characteristics, output characteristics, then comes switching characteristics, and then we have dynamic characteristics. And there is a difference between static characteristics and dynamic characteristics. Nothing to worry. Whenever you say dynamic, there is some capacitance effect which is developed. Due to this capacitance effect, some change in waveform will be there. At that change in waveform we call it as dynamic. Okay, so this is how you have to connect it. Gate should be connected to positive, and source negative should be connected to source. Similarly, this side positive should be connected to drain and negative should be connected to source. So this terminal is drain and this terminal is source. Okay, so already I have told transfer characteristics, what I have told. See, go back to the slide, we can see whenever you apply gate voltage, what I have told, if you apply positive to the gate, obviously electron will be induced. So initially less electron, when you go on increase this voltage, more electrons will be induced. If more and more electron is induced, the device will get more and more output. So that is what we see here. So graph is drawn between ID versus VGS. V is gate turn on voltage and ID is transfer current or current across drain. What is the output current? So I need more current, so in that case I will increase VGS. You can see here till this around around 2.5 itself device get turned on. But if I give only 2.5 voltage, current which will be flowing across the drain will be less. But I should have more current because I am going to operate in this device and all I am going to use for very high voltage and high current application. So for example, when you see nowadays welding machine has become like a pencil box size, where we use converters to step down the voltage and increase the current. So in that application and all, around 100 amps to 200 amps they will try to flow across the device. So in that case my ID increases. To increase ID, the only step here is to increase your gate turn on voltage or gate source voltage. So you can see from 2.5 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.58. So till 7.5 we can see that for change in V there is change in I. Then it will go to saturation, which means further increase in gate source voltage, there won't be any change in ID. Okay, that is what we mean to say. So that you can see. Yeah, I think in UG you might have done a project where you might have used only MOSFETs or IGBT you might have used, and in that MOSFET 5 volt from microcontroller, your guide might have told that that is not sufficient. So they will put a driver IC, and you might have stepped up the pulse voltage from 5 to 12. That stepping up is done only because that the device turning on, you should turn on at very high current to flow. So that is why we give a driver IC. So from microcontroller 5 volt will be drived to 12 volt and then given to MOSFET. So this drain source or on state resistance which plays a major role, that is RDS increase with the temperature. So when temperature increases, this RD will increase. So when you want to see this transfer is also depend upon the resistance offered between that fellow, and that resistance will, with respect to temperature, it will vary. So you have to take into account. So that you can see all this, you can see with respect to data sheet. So that is what this VGS is 10 volt, ID is 17 amps. They say that should be within this temperature, at this temperature. If the temperature change, then this value will also change. So if the temperature increases, current will reduce. So that is a issue. So proper heat sink should be there. So when you put proper heat sink, the temperature of the semiconductor device will be transferred to heat sink, and from heat sink the temperature will be cooled by the atmospheric air. So your temperature will not increase. So if the temperature is not increased, then RD will not change. If the RD is not changed, you will able to have high drain to source current. RDS increase with the VGS. So if you increase VGS also, RDS will come down. That we have seen. That is why we go for 8 volt, 8 to 9 volt. So for increasing in your so gate voltage, your drain current will increase. Okay. Maximum gate to source voltage VGS is frequently with this value is plus or minus 20 volts. So not more than that you are not supposed to give. So maximum, all this you should know. Okay, I have taken from a data sheet. So IRF is the specification of MOSFET. Whenever you go to shop, they will say IRF 840, IRF 540. So that IRF followed by that first number tells about the current, the second two number tells about the voltage. So which means this IRF 540, this is around current and your voltage rating. So this we have taken Philips semiconductors. So they have, in the data sheet they have clearly shown gate to source voltage should not go beyond plus or minus 20. So if you give more than that, then there is some reverse characteristics will take place. So maximum you can apply only plus or minus 20. Then comes your output characteristics. Output characteristics is for change in VDS, what is the change in ID. This is same as what you might have studied in a transistor. There is no difference. When even though you have given gate voltage and even though you have turned on your device, and if there is no supply across drain to source, then device will not come to on. We all know. Even see, there is 4 situation possible in all the devices. Device is capable to on, device is capable to on, plus gate is applied, device will be in on. So you should know the difference between the first two. First one, what I have told, device is capable of on, but I have not given any gate pulse. In that case, device will be in off. Device is capable of on and I am giving gate pulse, device will go to on. Then device is capable of reverse bias, but whether the reverse bias condition is attained or not. So best example for this, you go for a simple inverter circuit where you have 4 switch, 2 switch at the top and 2 switch at the bottom. What you do normally, from 0 to 10 milliseconds you turn on 2 switches, and another part of 10 to 20 milliseconds, you turn on other two devices. Now let us think of all these 4 cases you can see here. So when initially you give gate pulse to 2 switches, what about the other 2 switches? Even that switches are ready, but you have not given the gate pulse. That is the first condition. Then you are at 0 to 10 milliseconds, you are giving pulse to 2 switches, so they are capable of turn on and you have turned on it. That is the condition. And next is under reverse bias condition, whether the device is gone to reverse bias condition. If it is so, till what voltage it can able to withstand. So okay, so now output characteristics we all know. So when you go on increase your VGS, your this is for a particular VGS, then you go on increase your VGS, obviously your current will increase. Then for increase in voltage, the current remains constant till a particular instant, then it goes to saturation. You are not supposed to operate in this region, as well as you are not supposed to operate in this region. So when you operate in this particular region, it is will be in active mode. Okay, this we call it as saturation, and this is called breakdown. Here if you operate, it will work in saturation. If here you operate, the device itself will fail. Then comes your switching characteristics of MOSFET. So in MOSFET, when you talk about switching characteristics, so when you give a turn on pulse, what is the time taken to reach on? That is called switching characteristics. Similarly, at this in C, this is the graph, or this is the pulse which is coming from microcontroller. So if at the time t is equal to 0, you say turn on your device. At time t1, you say you turn off the device. Let us assume time 0 be 0 itself and t1 be 10 milliseconds. So from a microcontroller, you say t on for 10 milliseconds. So you are giving a pulse like this, but actually speaking, once you given pulse with 1, the device will not get on. It takes some time, so that time we call it as switching character. So initially it will gradually increase and then it will reaches this value. Now this is the instant of maximum voltage required for a device from your gate source. So due to this fellow itself taking such huge time to reaches its maximum value, that is VGS. Okay, even though microcontroller pulse will be like this, all the pulse will have a slew rate. We all know what is slew rate. Slew rate is nothing but change dV by dt. So due to this fellow, what happens is, till this gate turn voltage reaches some minimum value, till that instant the device will not be turned on at all. Then only it will start turning on, and again when your gate pulse reaches 90%, then only this fellow will come to totally on condition. Then similarly in off, when you say off at this region, your voltage starts, gate voltage starts to decrease, and once the gate voltage comes to this region only, the device will be faster in turning off, and once your voltage 0, this device will come to 0. That is the case of MOSFET. Package are similar to those diodes. There are different packages. Example, 60 volt MOSFET which is been manufactured, we call it as IRF 7855. Then there are so many types of MOSFET numbers. Okay, so this I am just saying about what type of packages of our MOSFET is available, that's all. So these are the various packages. So with that, there is RD is changing. So for change in RD, what will happen is there will be change in current. Okay, so when the RD is 9.4, it is 12 amps, it is 12, it is 57 amps. Then it is gradually, you can see when 1.5 you have brought down, current rises to 240. So this particular fellow IRF S3006, you can say this 300 is say 300 amps, but actually speaking it will work only for 240 amps. This even 300, you are not supposed to go to 300, device will fail because of the temperature variation. They say bring this to Germany and you use it, then for that particular room temperature it will go to 300 amps until that instant device will not break. Whereas when you come to India and if you operate it in same person with in 300 amps, obviously room temperature will leads to burn of this IC, so this IC will fail. Okay, so that is why we give some tolerance percentage. So here also you can see it is 054, where it is only 93 amps, this is 86 amps is possible. So these are the various packages of MOSFET. Now let us go to, I have told there is something called dynamic characteristics. So dynamic characteristics is because of the presence of capacitance effect. So there is the three capacitance effect occurring in MOSFET. One is between gate to source, that is what we need. Then another one is gate to drain, another one is drain to source. Because of these three capacitance, what they will have, these fellows will try to charge and discharge. Since these fellows are trying to charge and discharge, there will be a small change in your characteristics graph. Okay, so manufacturer provide information about the three capacitance which are different from one mentioned in the previous slide. Yeah, that there we discussed about the gate which is there between drain to source. Don't confuse with that, with this particular thing. That is internal capacitance, this is external capacitance which is forming. External, I am not connecting anything. Whenever I see from gate to source, it is having some effective like a capacitance, that we call it as this. So the total IS, I suffix SS is nothing but the capacitance offered by this, capacitance offered by this, with VDS is equal to 0 when there is no voltage applied across this two. Even if you are not applying any across this two also, this capacitance will be there in your picture. Then this is feedback capacitance, that we call it as DGS. Since there is some voltage across drain to source, even the device is on, because semiconductors are not pure conductors, so you cannot say when the device is on voltage will be 0. That is not possible in case of semiconductors, because they are not conductors. Only in conductor, if current is there, voltage will be 0. If voltage is there, current will be 0. But in semiconductors, there will be some amount of voltage across the device, even current is flowing. So due to that fellow, you will have this capacitance effect. That is why we call it as feedback capacitance. So this output from output side, if I see, which is nothing but CDS plus CDG, this two capacitance will we call it as output. So totally I conclude there are three capacitance effect which is occurring. One is input capacitance, that is only because of this fellow. Then one feedback capacitance is there, that is between these two, and one output capacitance is there, that is only across this. So this is what we say, three capacitance coming into picture. Because of these three capacitance, there will be a change in characteristics. So all these three will be specified in their data sheet. So just I am showing here that from a data sheet I have taken, Philips Semiconductor data sheet. So you can see all these three capacitance are specified there. So you should know what is the capacitance effect which is being produced there. So now switching characteristics we will analyze. So we try to draw all the three. Now only thing, when I going to switching characteristics, this is load current, this is a switch like structure. When I put here, pulse is coming, when I am putting here, pulse is not coming. So pulse coming, pulse not coming, so it is a switch. This only we generate from microcontroller. So when you go with microcontroller, this part you will remove and you say it is from microcontroller. There is a freewheeling diode. We all know what is freewheeling diode. When the device is in off, when you bring the device to off, there is some storage charge. This stored charge has to be brought out. Then only the next MOSFET can be brought into picture. That is why we call it as freewheeling. The word freewheeling is taken from a generator. I think you all might seen roadside generators and all, like they will hire and use a generator. Even you can see that hiring use generator, you have a speed governor. The role of speed governor is done by the freewheeling diode in a MOSFET. Okay. Then ideal diode. Then starting situation, power MOSFET is off and the power diode is on. Therefore VGS now I am saying with respect to starting. So if this fellow is off, this fellow will be on. If this fellow is on, this fellow will be off. Okay, so it is only reverse connected. So when this is on, this will not be come into picture. If this on and this is also coming into picture, then this fellow itself is not required. Nothing saying like I am switching on, switching off, that and all is not possible. So this diode is nothing but connected anti-parallel. Okay, so what we say, load current will flow in this direction and this current will be flowing in opposite direction. So previously conducting MOSFET, the stored will be discharged via this diode. That's all. That is the purpose of this freewheeling diode is when the switch is being brought from on to off, for faster response of on to off, we use this freewheeling. That's all. Usually you might have studied this freewheeling by saying that fully controlled rectifier with the inductive load. When inductive load is there, you have to discharge from the inductor. There you say you put a freewheeling diode, that you might have studied in UG. So here I say that this is anti-parallel. When this fellow is not conducting, this fellow will conduct, and if this fellow is in conduction, this fellow will not come into condition. Okay, so ID is 0 and ID is equal to load current. For this situation, the mechanical switch from position B to A. Then I am closing the gate. Now the device will get turned on. So this is the instant at which I try to do that. So this is off. This was previously what we were explaining. Okay, then when you give gate pulse, it will try to turn on. So your ID will increase, and this slope depend upon R, which is nothing but we have already seen. Okay, the current provided by the V1 through R mainly used to discharge this capacitance. So slight drop will be there. That is being told as Miller feedback effect. Then it will go for the next shift, and next shift is because of this two capacitance. So you can see here in static characteristics, difference between a static and dynamic is, in static what we might have done is we might have drawn a straight line like a pulse here. So till this instant it will be 0, then we will put a pulse and we will say that I am giving on, but actually speaking it is not happening. There is a small change due to the capacitance effect. So similarly, only if this instant is there, due to this capacitance, it will come to 0. So when the device is on, voltage should come to 0, and when this starts to decrease, they have come to maximum current. So this is the switching characteristics from off to on. We all know that from off to on, V must come to 0, I should go to maximum value. So computing losses is what is nothing but simultaneous existence of voltage and current across the device. See, you see this yellow region, what happens? See, you can feel the voltage is also there, current is also there. So this region, what is there is power loss will be there. See, switch, you are turning on the switch. When you are turning on the switch, across the switch voltage should be 0 and current should be maximum. But there is a simultaneous existence, you can see here. Full voltage is there and current is increasing. So from the location T to T1 there is no current, so no loss here. Then from T1 to T2 there is simultaneous existence of voltage and current, and similarly T2 to T3. So this region we call it as loss. That loss is nothing but we call it as switching loss. There is an high voltage V2 and increasing current in the MOSFET at the same time. So that is called as loss. So that is what we have mentioned here as a loss. Then this shift is because of the capacitance effect. So there we try to say that your voltage has come to 0 and current as in constant. So your loss will be the same line, it will trace. So since voltage is reducing, losses is also will reduce because it is a product of V into I. So at each instant V is reducing, so when multiplied with the constant I, your loss will also come down. So this is your switching loss. So once the device has fully turned on, you will have some amount of voltage across the gate drain to source. That is what I told. This is not a conductor made up of semiconductors. So in semiconductors, when the device has come to on, you cannot say full voltage will be 0. There will be some voltage. So due to this some voltage, there is a small amount of loss. So this is called as conduction loss. So in one word they will ask, what is switching loss, what is conduction loss? Switching loss is the loss due to simultaneous existence of V and I, and at a particular portion your current will increase and your voltage remains constant. In that case the loss will be in increasing fashion. Once current has reached this maximum value, now voltage will start to decrease and voltage will come to 0. You can note here, till current reaches maximum, voltage is there. Only current finally reaches 0, this voltage starts to reduce. This voltage will trace the path and the loss will also come down. And since it is a semiconductor device, you cannot say voltage 0, so there will be some amount of loss. So that region we call it as QGS and QDS. That is due to the capacitance effect of your characteristics. So when you draw a graph like this and explain your VGS versus your current, then it is called as dynamic characteristics. In static characteristics, just you will put a line here saying that you will have some loss, that's all. You will not specify with respect to the capacitance effect. So only that is the difference. Then static loss will be specified by the data sheet itself, and conduction loss and switching dynamic loss. So that is what I have explained till now. So that is called dynamic loss. And driving loss is nothing but loss in your cable conductors which you are using. So this part we have seen. This is for turn on. Similarly this is for turn off. So again they are repeating turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. Due to the capacitance present, this jump is there. If there is no capacitance, you will say it is going to this region, but that you will call it as static characteristics. When dynamic, you have to talk about the capacitance. Okay, so this is called the conduction loss and this is called switching loss. So you will have switching loss during turn on as well as turn off, and during the device is in on, you will have a person called conduction loss. So these are the thing, and this is driving loss. It is usually is slow diode, especially in case of high voltage MOSFET. And how you can reduce your switching losses, this diode you have to use with the fast recovery diodes, or the diode which are coming nowadays with the master with the reverse recovery time. So when this diode reverse recovery time is there, till that instant it will not come to 0. So till that instant you will have a loss. So they try to reduce it with the latest technology in manufacturing, and they try to the capacitance effect formed. See, the capacitance effect is formed because of the manufacturing itself. So this dynamic effect is because of the manufacturing itself. Why this occurring? Because again I repeat, it is a semiconductor material, it is not conductor material. So always in semiconductor material, if you are trying to make I maximum, V will not go to 0. If that case is occurring, all this capacitance will get vanished, and there won't be any dynamic characteristics at all. You can draw static characteristics alone. So that is the difference between static and dynamic, and the dynamic is coming into picture only because there is a semiconductor. Why in semiconductor you cannot bring voltage to 0 when the device is on, because it is not a conductor, it is a semiconductor. So all that silica inside your fabrication what you have used will try to store some amount of voltage across it, and that will create a capacitance effect. So only when you talk about voltage, we talk about capacitance effect and all. So with this we will try to stop today's class. So today's class we have discussed about MOSFET. So in